I'm just going to pretend he's watching this video right now. Please come home, Ronaldo. Come home, Ronnie. We want you back. The number 7 is yours. I'll tweet Edison Cavani after this. Please give up the number 7. You can take the number 9. Ronaldo, come back. The number 7 is yours.
They're going to spend majority of their money trying to get Jadon Sancho in. Okay, so I think it's quite likely. I think out of 10, I'm going to give it a 8.5 for this particular transfer to happen. So what do you guys think?
Oh, it's a almost definite confirmation already is going to come. Fabrizio Romano already tweeted, and I honestly, we just have to wait for the here we go tweet. It's a definite confirmation. Unless Dortmund tries to mess it up and say, hey, we want another 10 million. But that's why United are trying to get this done before the Euros, because the possibility of him having a good Euros is very high, and they're going to add another 20 more million. So yeah, get it done before the Euros, and then we can all sleep soundly at night.
Oh my God!
Salam satu Malaysia. Welcome to Jom United. We are dengan bangganya buatan Malaysia, Manchester United fan channel. Okay, on today's segment, Jom Transfer, we'll be discussing the transfer market, okay, related to Manchester United, the players that are tied in to Manchester United. Okay, so the players that we mentioned are currently in the loop. It's quite hot, so there's a high probability that some kind of transfer will happen. Okay, so before we start off, right, guys, just to share something with you guys, this time around there's some good news. Okay, because after the ESL, the drama, and then with the protests and whatnot happening, right, the news is out that we will be increasing our net spend to 150 million. Okay, previous seasons, what we usually spend is about maybe 65 to 70 million. Okay, net spend meaning play off the dead wood, and the owners will invest additional money. Okay, so basically this coming transfer window, the owners will be investing twice the amount of whatever we've spent in the previous seasons. But how far is true, again, we don't know. That's the news circulating. Okay? So the player right now, right, that's mostly very hot linked to us is Jadon Sancho from Borussia Dortmund. Okay, that's a target that we wanted last season, but like usual, our incompetent board, our whoever is in charge, Ed Woodward, they messed up last season, and then they are trying to catch up this particular season. Okay, so Ayrton, so what do you think about Jadon Sancho? Will he be a good fit for us?
Well, obviously, I think it's already a done deal that Jadon Sancho is going to come. We will get him for cheaper than what it was evaluated for last season. And yeah, looking at it, yeah, United always needed a proper out-and-out winger, something that we've been missing. I think the last pure winger we had was sadly Memphis Depay, who didn't really work out. And I think on the right wing also as well, Mason Greenwood, we can tell that he's not a pure winger. We need someone who's going to feed the balls over to the strikers, play around with the midfield also as well, and he will fit right in. Jadon Sancho is the right fit for United. He wants to come. He's the type of player that we actually need, and he's English also at the same time. I think he'll add a lot of value to United. It will only improve our striking force going forward as well, and also he'll contribute to a lot of goals as well.
So early on, I think in this season, Borussia Dortmund, I think because of what happened in the last season, the transfer that didn't go through, I think he was demotivated. He had a rough start in the season. Okay, and then towards the end of the season, I think he actually bucked up. Okay, so but then the question is, do you think that he will fit in playing in the Premier League? Because again, we are comparing the German league, and then German league is basically Bayern Munich and against the other teams.
Yeah.
So do you think he will? Ground running, or he need time again to adjust to how fast the pace of the EPL is?
I don't think so because I think the way Borussia Dortmund plays as well is not far off from what the top clubs in England how they play, fast-paced, physical, and also with Jadon Sancho coming through the youth ranks over in England as well, playing in the English setup as well. He's accustomed to how the English style of playing with all his top players around the Premier League when he goes for England. So I don't see any problem for him gelling into this United squad. Honestly speaking, I think among all of our transfers that we've had, and once he goes through as well, he will be one of the players that actually he will be one of the. It will be as fast as Bruno, I think so. I think it will be as fast as Bruno, that he gets everything because he kind of knows the players so as well. He knows how Rashford plays. He knows a couple of his English teammates so in there, and honestly speaking, I think when while playing with Borussia Dortmund, he would have been keeping tabs on how United style of play and stuff, and how he can contribute to the game as well. So yeah, it will not be a problem for him. I would say if an English player, honestly speaking, I think an English player that even grew outside of England coming in, he probably will have more problem fitting in. But yeah, I think that's one player. So if it springs to mind, so they're coming from the German league. Owen Hargreaves, he never played in England before, but still understood the English game. Yeah, he will feel that he will probably be around that mold, that he will probably fit in the English game very well. And I think, yeah, honestly speaking, he will be a massive asset to us. He's also a player that we really, really need.
And even if you think about
likes the forward player that they can interchange. He can play from the right, to the left, the number 9 position.
Exactly. Yeah.
So how do you think will be incorporated into our in our team?
like if you're talking about Jadon Sancho, you remember like he's coming from the youth system of Watford and Manchester City. So he was a youth player here in England before he went to Germany. He's not like a German-born player who would not fit in England. And if you talk about his national side, he has gone through all the ranks of England team, under 16, under 17, under 19, and now he's playing for the England senior team. And now if he comes to United, he will have a lot of friends: Maguire, Shaw, Rashford, Greenwood, Henderson, maybe Declan Rice in the future. So we have a team which is always influenced with all the English players. So I don't think there will be any issue for him to adjust into the environment, into the fast pace of English football. And if you talk about his stats, he had a bad start or a slow start, but at the end he finished the season on the top. I think he scored like 16 goals and 20 assists. So he's not a player who will only play forward and score goal. He can contribute to the team just like Bruno Fernandes. In his last 3 seasons, he's been very consistent when it comes to assists. He has done 20 assists in the last 3 seasons consecutive.
Yeah, just to add on to I think what Syed has said, I think I was just looking at his stats as well, right? Absolutely spot on by Syed. I think last season, as mentioned, after the transfer didn't go through United, he looked a little bit out of sorts. But if you look at the end of the season, he had 16 goals, 20 assists. The previous season was 20 goals, 20 assists, so not very far. The previous season to that is 13 goals, 20 assists. So he's giving you 20 assists across all competitions. Yeah. He's giving you more than 10 goals in the last 3 seasons. I think even if like 3/4 of that, we'll be very happy already.
And he's only 21. So he has yet to play for the whole his career.
Yeah,
I also honestly,
1 year old.
Honestly,
he was much older.
Yeah. Honestly, so I think something I want to look forward to is with the interchange link-up play between him and Marcus Rashford also. I think him coming over will raise Marcus Rashford's game even better heights, because he's been very stagnant, I would say, for the past season or so. Some people might say no, but I think he has been very stagnant ever since he became a full-time politician. But that's a discussion for another day. yeah. So honestly speaking, it will benefit a lot to players like Marcus Rashford, especially Marcus Rashford, I would say.
Yeah, this is the transfer edition. Ayrton, don't get me started on Marcus Rashford. I will defend ideas.
Chill. So also again, the news came up from the United camp. Basically, they feed some news to the press and whatnot that for this transfer window, how they're going to approach it, they're going to spend majority of their money trying to get Jadon Sancho in. Okay, so I think it's quite likely. I think out of 10, I'm going to give it a 8.5 for this particular transfer to happen. So what do you guys think?
Oh, it's almost definite confirmation already is going to come. Fabrizio Romano already tweeted, and I honestly, we just have to wait for the here we go tweet. It's a definite confirmation. Unless Dortmund tries to mess it up and say, hey, we want another 10 million. But that's why United are trying to get this done before the Euros, because the possibility of him having a good Euros is very high, and they're going to add another 20 more million. So yeah, get it done before the Euros, and then we can all sleep soundly at night.
Exactly. And
let's also pray for no broken fax machines, eh?
Honestly speaking, now the fax machine working, so I don't mind.
That is another one. That is another story. Okay, then
Nice,
whatever
nice.
money that they have from the Jadon Sancho deal, they are going to invest it in the centre back. Okay, so the centre back that is tied with us right now at this moment is Rafael Varane. Okay, Rafael Varane, and also another name that pops up quite often is Pau Torres. So, Josh, what's your input on these two players, and then who would you prefer to have in United?
If between those two, if we had only one option of a centre back, I would purely go for Varane, just purely due to experience. He's now 28. He's been in a very, very big club, and coming to Manchester United, it's no different for him. He will immediately adapt to it. He knows the expectation. He knows what is there to win, how to be. Because one thing about Varane, he's very calm. He's very calm. He stays well in his position, and at times he even covers his CDM. So that's where the important thing happens. He covers, whereby if there's any tackles a CDM, he comes into play also. So he plays that very vital role. Why I say Varane over Pau Torres, because Pau Torres, yes, he played for a Villarreal side who beat Manchester United, but I still feel he has not much physique, not much in that sense, and the strength to probably cope in the English Premier League. We had the same thing whereby we bought Bailly from Villarreal, thinking that he's going to be the magnificent defender from Villarreal, the same club, and look what happened. He become a time bomb. And for Pau Torres, he's doing very, very well now there with the leadership of Raul Albiol. In Manchester United, we don't have that leadership. We don't have Harry Maguire is not there yet.
Oh my God, coming from someone who invested that much money in the jersey, you're telling me?
Yes, sometimes the truth hurts lah. But you know, so that's why if we had between those two, I would probably go for Varane, even if it's extra 20, 25 million for him. Go for it for Varane. I think the experience of him really count. He plays for France. He plays for Real Madrid. He knows how to win. He has the winning mentality. He adds the calmness in the back, which we always lose in set piece. He will be there, and not only that, he gets the goals in the other side as well. So I hope that among these two, we get Varane. But because I'm just a bit, for Pau Torres is a bit questionable. So in terms of whether they will come or not, I'm not sure. But I feel that we will have a centre back. I will rate them a 7 out of 10 to be coming in. But don't be surprised if we put an audacious bid for 60 million for Tyrone Mings. Because that's what always happens. That's what always happens in Manchester United.
Tyrone Mings inside that, you just have to do it lah, bro.
But actually, honestly, no, Jai pergi.
Boleh tambah sikit.
Jai, sila Jai.
Pasal Varane tadi. Varane ni dia yang I tengok dia punya game, dia kurangkan dia banyak kesilapan, kurang kesilapan individu, and the other one is dia banyak menggunakan defensive third. Maksud dia lebih kepada mark to mark player dia lebih bagus lah daripada Pau Torres. Then Pau Torres ni nak tambah sikit lah, dia tidak akan maksud dia mungkin 50-50 ke Manchester United, sebab Pau Torres ni masa kita dengar rumours tu masa dia dengan Manchester United ada final dengan Villarreal. I rasa itu macam psikologi punya mind saja untuk ganggu dia, macam tu lebih kurang lah. So apa-apa pun CB memang paling penting dekat dalam MU punya camp sekarang ni. Even sebab kita tak nak tengok Lindelof ke ataupun Mystic Jones ke, kita kena ada player yang baru, dan memang sangat setuju dengan pembelian kalau kita nak beli Varane lah. Sebab Varane ada rekod yang bagus dengan World Cup dia, dengan Champions League dia, so better go to Varane lah. Itu I punya opinion lah.
Speaking about Phil Jones kan, sorry, just a quick one. Actually, there's news today that actually clubs are hunting for Phil Jones, you know. No joke.
What the player?
But then there are clubs, not one clubs looking for Phil Jones, you know.
Take it and go.
They want to test out their medical equipment code.
Everything you want to add on anything to the Varane deal?
Actually, honestly speaking, sometimes when we go on this YouTube page and sometimes it's YouTube deep dive or whatever it is, right? I've been watching a couple of Tyrone Mings videos, he's actually not that bad. No, he's quite decent.
No.
Never
Ever
telling
judge
you.
a player from YouTube clip videos? They can make even Phil Jones. They can make him to a terrific.
Come to
player.
this side, Ayrton. Come to this side.
Doesn't Bebe come
I
to
learned my
mind?
lesson long time ago. I don't trust that anymore. I don't.
Yeah, because last time remember Gabriel Obertan,
Yeah,
we got
Obertan,
excited
the
from his. Yeah.
Bebe, like the classic Bebe.
And
Yeah.
then
But
Ayrton,
actually watching,
anything
Yeah.
related to Tyrone Mings, make sure you look at who is the guy that upload the video. Is it most likely is Josh Van Pillai or something like that? There's only
Actually-
one video only.
Actually, Josh,
don't know
I have a question for you. I think you said earlier that Pau Torres has Raul Albiol beside him, right, to bring the experience. So does Varane. Varane has Ramos as his guiding light. You know, Ramos is a very senior defender. He runs the defense very well. And maybe you can shed some light on this as well. For me, I feel that Varane in the last couple of years has sort of had a bit of a dip in form, a little bit more mistakes than previously. What do you think?
Yeah, because I think when you mentioned Varane under Ramos, right? Yes, that was his leader to go to. But Ramos haven't been starting his games. So there was Eder Milito and Varane. So Varane had to lead the back. And he is also facilitating the goalkeeper, which is Courtois. So he has learned a lot. I think Varane is a good learner in that sense. So he picked up a lot of things from Ramos, and he's now influencing the defenders in that way. And of course, Zidane always coaching, and he's very highly critical of French players for Zidane. So that's why sometimes he tends to punish too much to the French players, to not even let them play and that thing. But I think Varane will be good. And not only that, he's also a left-footed centre-back, which we needed. We don't need Maguire right-footed, but playing at the left centre-back, because that's always very confusing sometimes. So yeah, so that's my take on Varane.
Sorry, Dom, before you go on, I need to ask the $1 million question. So, Josh, if Varane comes, are you going to pair up your jersey, your Maguire jersey with a Varane jersey?
We won't know. I'll probably do something. Maybe I'll buy a Varane jersey instead.
Okay, guys. Okay, we move on to the next position. Okay,
betul.
this position we have to strengthen, but then there's not much players actually. How to say? For this transfer window close to United for this particular position. We are only monitoring Declan Rice position. Okay, but I think that we need a specialist CDM that will really enhance our overall our team moving forward and defensive and whatnot. So, Doc, what do you think about Declan Rice, the player itself, and how would he blend into our team?
I think if you've been watching some of the previous Jom United videos, I think I've been waxing lyrical about Declan Rice for some time already. I think we need that Nasi power. Okay. What he offers, right? I think for me, he is in a mold of a more complete midfielder than what we already have. So he is the type that does the defensive duties very well. Okay, as compared to just a Pogba who doesn't do his defensive duties. Or even if you compare with our current defensive mids, Fred and McTominay, he offers so much more. Because apart from doing the defensive part, which is wonderful at, he's capable of springing forward, with those kind of forward-raking kind of passes, to both to the sides and even that kind of a through ball. Another thing about him, and I watched him a couple of times both for West Ham and England, he hardly loses the ball. He's very comfortable in the ball and very comfortable moving the ball around at pace, right? And so if Ole is going to actually move forward with his double pivot, which I say is always not a defensive formation because you allow your fullback to push up a lot, but we need to have the right people in there. Now, if we have a Declan Rice, you can actually play a double pivot with a more attacking midfielder with him because he is able to do that kind of sort of Kante kind of clean up, McAlady kind of clean up at the back, and actually also allow you to release the other midfielder to go forward. So whether it's Pogba, if he's still there, or whether it's McTominay allowed to push forward, and we've seen McTominay can push forward well against Leeds, against Southampton, against Villarreal, right?
Yeah,
so that would actually also allow him to move forward. I think apart from all of that, and this is just his footballing abilities, he also has outstanding leadership abilities. I believe he captained the England under-21s. I believe he even captained West Ham last season when Mark Noble was not around. I think he's learned a lot from Kane as well in the England squad and Mark Noble, in the West Ham squad. And he's got good leadership qualities, a future leader. He's only 22 years old. So a lot of potential. And I would definitely sign him. Definitely.
But
Without a doubt.
the price tag right now, right? If he don't end up with Chelsea, it's about 80 million. Okay, with 80 million price tag, you know what happened to us with an 80 million price tag on another player. Okay, a lot of pressure on the player, and then somehow they cannot perform as to expectations. Okay, so Syed, do you think that the price tag 80 million is worth spending on a player like Declan Rice?
I think it would worth it because he has proven in Premier League already, and we all know like he's a very solid player, as Dog is saying. He will not lose the ball. He can play very solidly. He can protect your defender, and he can also pass the ball forward in an effective way. But the question which comes in my mind every time we talk about defensive midfield: are we going to change the formation, or are we still going to play two pivot role and he will play with Fred or he will play with McTominay, or we will change our formation to 4-3-3 and he will be sitting between the three midfield point. So we need to sort out and think about our strategy and about the lineup we want to go for. Then we can talk about, okay, Declan Rice would be a good fit or not. But talking about the price, I think 60, 70, 80 is just a standard right now for any young player who's proven. So you got to pay the price. If he's young, he's English, he has proven. So I think his price tag would worth it for 80 million.
I think just to add on, Syed, I think it's not just what formation you want to play, but if you buy Rice, it allows you to play many different formations because of what he can do in that midfield.
Yeah. So
Well,
he can
if you're going to
replace players.
spend that kind of money on Rice, right, I think we wouldn't go for a double pivot anymore because basically you got one player who can actually do that particular role.
Yes.
I think
Yeah,
all
so
these
you
balls are
can
doing double
sometimes
pivot.
you can probably use it, maybe in like away games against bigger teams that you want to, consolidate and then push forward. So at home you can go with a 4-3-3 because he can sit at the center and do that kind of defensive work. So I think he will offer you a lot, both in terms of what he can offer in the midfield and also what he can offer you tactically.
Okay, the next player yang linked to our team is right back Kieran Trippier. Okay, Jai, kalau you memang agent MU lah, jual beli you beli tak player ni, Kieran Trippier, tapi dia dah 30 tahun lah. So, apa pendapat you?
Untuk apa pendapat I, kalau ikutkan, kalau kita nak bagi saingan kepada Aaron Van Bissaka, so kita kena beli player yang ada experience. So player yang ada experience ialah Kieran Trippier, sebab dia adalah champion di La Liga last year. So memang pengalaman dia banyak, boleh memberi tunjuk ajar kepada Aaron Bissaka. And then dia banyak kebolehan, dia boleh ambil free kick, dia boleh buat attacking, and then dia punya cross, dia ada crossing, and then dia boleh buat penetrate pass and attacking zone, dekat dalam the attacking zone. So kalau ikut pendapat saya, kita boleh beli as untuk guide kita punya defense kanan Aaron Bissaka, ataupun memberi saingan kepada dia. Sebab apa pun kita kena kuatkan kita punya defense, midfield dan kita punya attacking. So dia antara yang kita patut beli untuk next season. Kieran Trippier.
But for this Kieran Trippier to have someone into the team, something like Telles, they are going to be pretty much on the bench most of the time, right? How would you see this player in our team, Josh?
I think the reason why we are linked to him is also because our attacking threat on the right.
Yeah.
Wan Bissaka doesn't bring that in for Manchester United. And not only that, Trippier being now, I think, in his 30s, he is also a great crosser, good attacking threat, and he can play right back and left back, and he can even play on the right side of the three defense. So he is very versatile in that, and he brings a lot of experience. So I think Ole could give him that. Ole could bring that thought in. If we want to have a different formation, Trippier could be the one to challenge and pressure the young guys of Shaw and Wan Bissaka, and also to bring in that last minute player. When you want an attacking threat, if Wan Bissaka is not playing well, that could be something that he may look into, the attacking threat from Trippier.
Okay, moving on to the next player. Okay, Manchester United every year transfer window, right? It's never a transfer window if you are not we are not linked with either Gareth Bale and the other one is Cristiano Ronaldo. Okay, but this time around, there's a possibility that it will happen because there's a talk about a swap going on that Paul Pogba, who is so happened to be Said's favorite player, to go over to Juventus and to trade. Okay, so Said, control your emotions. What do you think about this swap and whether Cristiano will come to United?
Yeah. Even though I'm the biggest fan of Pogba here in Zoom United, but I would definitely sacrifice Pogba if there is a chance I can get Ronaldo to bring back to us. I mean, he's the darling of all the United fans. Who would say no to Ronaldo? Even he's 36, everyone is saying, okay, he's dying, or I mean, his career is dying and he would not score more goals. But you see, like last season, he was a top goal scorer of Serie A with 29 goals. He got the award of the best forward. He won Coppa Italia, he won the Super Italia. So he's winning awards wherever he plays, and he will definitely bring trophies back to United. He has the mentality, he has the charisma, where he can come and he can take the armband, he can control the dressing room, he can give the extra motivation to the players. So he is all what we need right now in our squad. And I mean, it would be just a dream come true to see Ronaldo again in red shirt and to play one more time. We all remember his like crazy days when he debuted. I remember he debuted against Bolton Wanderers, and then he was doing some tricks, and everybody was saying like what he's doing. But then slowly he proved like, okay, he's the player who's not only just do the dribbles and step over. He's there to win trophies. He's there to score goals. So even though he's 36, but I'm sure if he comes back to Premier League, he would be again the top goal scorer. I mean, we would not talk about Sterling or Salah or anyone. He's still the top player, and he would guarantee you the goals and guarantee you the trophies. So there is a report going on like Juventus would be open to do the swap deal between Pogba and Ronaldo, and he's also linked with PSG because PSG wants Icardi, so they can either do the swap deal with PSG or either with United. And with Max Allegri, he's been reappointed as Juventus manager, and there is a talk like when Ronaldo was playing under Max, so there was a talk like he said he wants to get rid of Ronaldo. Because Max Allegri, he prefers more Dybala compared to Ronaldo. Because if you minus the penalties, Dybala was playing good rather than Ronaldo under Max Allegri. But fingers crossed. I mean, we would love to see him back. The chances are low, but everybody can dream, and we can also dream to bring back Ronaldo. Viva Ronaldo!
Ayrton, do you think that Ronaldo will still be relevant in the EPL? I mean, he's already.
How dare you, dog? How dare you?
It's a question. I gotta be neutral. I have to be neutral.
How dare you speak of Ronaldo that way? He is ours. Okay, even though he left for Real Madrid all those years ago, I was still, I love Ronaldo lah. I mean, like, in my eyes, he's the best player in United that I've ever seen. Even though being 36 years old, yes, he's on a downward trend. He's not scoring 50 goals anymore. He's not scoring 60 goals anymore. He's scoring 30 goals still. Still, it's a good return, what? And to see him back in United shirt, my God, it will be a dream come true, lah. I mean, I'm just going to make a plea to Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm just going to pretend he's watching this video right now. Please come home, Ronaldo. Come home, Ronnie. We want you back. The number 7 is yours. I'll tweet Edison Cavani after this. Please give up the number 7. You can take the number 9. Ronaldo, come back. The number 7 is yours.
I think most here would want Ronaldo.
Soalan.
But I need to check with Jai. Jai. It's controversial, Jai. Kalau Ronaldo balik, nak ke tak nak?
Okay, kalau saya tanya balik kalau Ayrton cakap Cavani bagi nombor 7 dekat Ronaldo, nombor 9 Cavani pakai.
Tak. 9 pun tak boleh. Dia 19.
That's why I tanya, kalau 9 dia bagi Cavani, nombor 9 tu nak pergi mana?
Tak, 9 tu simpan. 9 dah tak boleh gerak-gerak, seorang saja pegang. You jangan
I'm being realistic because we're going to sell Martial next season, bro.
Okay, we are at the end of our transfer episode. Okay, thank you. Hey, you already gave me a heartbreak today enough lah. Today, come on, man. I'm an old guy. I'm also 37 years old. Okay, I'm also 37 years old. Okay, So for more videos like this, please like, subscribe, and turn on the bell notification. We will be having more transfer videos when we have more news, any latest news, any hot news. Okay, so stay tuned and then make sure you subscribe. Thank you very much. Jom United.